Welcome to the Take Money, Make Money show, where we talk all things reselling. We'll show you how to take your money to make more money. We show you how to crush it on eBay, Amazon, Facebook Marketplace, offer up, you name it, because we've done it. Hosted by me, GrowWithChris. Let's get started. Welcome back, everyone, to the Take Money, Make Money show. I'm your host, GrowWithChris, and I'm happy to have you with me today. This week, we're doing something special where I'm bringing you some of the best Q&A from the live Q&A call that I held last week with members of the six-figure reseller course. This particular question in this episode, I think, is going to be something that can help you if you even taken the course or not. I'm going over what I call the quick start guide. People have a tendency when you go over a lot of information at once, you consume the information, but then you don't necessarily take action. You don't know like where to start. And in this particular segment of the call, I go over what I call the quick start guide, like the apps you need to download, how you need to position yourself, how to get started today to make money. So if you're listening to this, no matter where you're at around the world, I want you to take notes, and I want you to actually get started. Like, put this quick start guide to use for you and your business. And if you're interested and you haven't already purchased the course, check the link below where you can actually get started at a special discount for being a listener of the Take Money, Make Money show. We'd love to have you with the six-figure reseller course. But anyway, let's get into it. Hope you enjoy, and I'll talk to you soon. But I'm hoping like on this call, we can help fill in some of those gaps. You know, if you're stuck, or no matter where you're at on the journey after you go through it. So I didn't make these slides super fancy or anything, but I think these are like the main course of action I want people to make sure they're doing. You know, buying the course is one thing. And I talk about this episode 4 of my podcast, like just on commitment. I don't want people to just buy the course and feel good for a moment and then they put it down. I want people to go through the course and then take action, because obviously I created the course for people to be able to make money, right? It's a pretty simple metric that we have. It's like, are you making money? Are you growing your business? And obviously, you know, we get involved with business to, you know, ultimately give us more freedom. You know, maybe it's to cover a bill. Maybe it's to make a career shift. Maybe it's just to give you some spending money. But whatever your goal is, I think it's important that you get to that point. And that's what's important to me, right? Like getting course sales. Like right now, we almost have like 15 people who brought the course. So, I mean, it's been, you know, people been buying it. People I don't know, people all over. But I also want to make sure people taking action. And that's also what made me just hop on this call today, because I really want to see people winning and having success. So let's go through these bullets right here in case you are let's assume you go through the course. That's number one. It's important that you go through the course. And I would say go through it in full, at least go through the 6 modules. Maybe you don't get into all the bonus material, because I kind of intended for the bonuses to be like, if you want to just know everything, yes, watch all the bonus materials. But I also wanted it to be where you sort of could see, based off the route you decide to take, what you needed. So the bonuses are kind of there, like in your back pocket. Like if you do decide, okay, what's this VA stuff, or what's a Discord or a bot? Like I wanted to be able to have those specifics. Or if I say, oh, what's Amazon? How do you research for that? I wanted to have those specifics there. But you need to at least go through the 6 modules if you haven't already. I think the next thing is like deciding where you want to sell. And when I say where, I'm talking about the actual marketplace. You know, I definitely recommend, you know, when you first starting, as long as you're comfortable, I recommend selling local. I mean, you can do, I think a combination, to be more specific. Don't sleep on the local marketplaces, but also sell some things where you're shipping it online. And for a lot of people, you may be a little bit concerned and not sure what marketplaces to go through. I have like my essential apps on the next slide I'm gonna go through in just a second, but just make a decision. Like, know for yourself where you're gonna be selling. Don't keep it foggy. You know, like for example, Um, Even though I covered or I talked about multiple apps inside of the course, I know where I sell. I started off selling only on OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace. Then I transitioned to to eBay and then Amazon. So when I made that shift, I was trying to scale up my business. So I no longer wanted to do local sales because, arranging a time to meet with someone else taking up too much time. But in each of those stages, I knew where I was selling. So in the beginning, I wasn't concerned about eBay because it wasn't even on my radar. Like I was like, nah, I'm gonna just meet up with people and sell to them local. And then when I made that transition, I was just on it was at a period of time I was doing both eBay and local, but then I went to just eBay. So wherever you're at, like just to kind of know where you're at and go all in. There are marketplaces that I could sell on that I don't, like I don't sell on Mercari or Poshmark. There's things that you could sell on those different marketplaces, but I just kind of focus on what I focus on. And I recommend you kind of do the same, but I do recommend you still sell on at least 2 to 3 marketplaces, if that makes sense. Don't try to sell on 10, but pick a couple, one online, one local, because the more marketplaces you're on, the more people that can see what you have to sell, right? And the good thing about what we're doing as far as reselling is that, we don't create the demand for the product. The demand is already there. So you want to make sure you're getting products that that is in demand, because they go to these marketplaces to look for them. So you don't really have to worry about, trying to make demand because it's already there. The other thing I'll say too, and I know me and my mom talked about this, is, we talked about it briefly. Like you have the option to like promote your items on the marketplaces. And I use that feature a lot, but it has to be the right product. If you're selling something where like there's really no profit to be made, you probably don't want to do it. But if you're on a marketplace and it's a lot of there's good profit to be made, I'll definitely do the promotion because it helps you sell it faster. Another aspect of this, I didn't really talk about this in a course. Maybe I did toward the end, but you always want to think about this too, like sales velocity is one way to look at it. Like basically how fast are you moving products when you get it? So there are some products that you can buy that if you hold them longer, the value will go up over time. So for example, I brought the laptop. I talked about it on my Instagram page. I still haven't listed that, by the way. I've just been so busy with work. I know I haven't had the time to go meet with somebody, but I'm going to list it and sell it. But part of the reason I held it because I'm like, you know what, for a few days, and Walmart still may be in stock, I'm not sure, but I know the value is going to go up around the time back to school time. That's probably when I can get the most money for it. However, I'm at a point in my business where I don't mind having $100 tied up into that product or sitting in my storage room. When you first start, a lot of the times that I recommend this, you want to get products and then sell it as fast as you can. So you can profit as quickly and you can keep the process going. You want to get a good flow. So what that may mean is that when you first get an item, you may sell it for, let's say it's a $100 item, you may sell it for $130. But if you held it for 2 more months, you may sell it for $150. What I'm saying is that when you're first starting off, it's probably not worth it to just hold it for 2 months when you can still make, close to the same amount. So just be kind of aware of that because, you can get to a point where you're like a little bit you're kind of lazy and you don't feel like listing stuff for sale, or you just get lazy. Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe it, or comfortable. Next thing, so after you kind of know the marketplace is, this is extremely important too. You got to know like where will you find out the products to buy. All right, so I went over in the product hunting section of the course, which I'm just gonna, I know it's a lot of slides here, but I don't even know where module 3 starts. So this may be a bad idea. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I'm just gonna pick up here for a second. I'm not gonna go through all of this, but because I cover all in the course, but you kind of want to know like maybe what you plan on selling, but I definitely recommend that you consult or use some kind of resource that kind of help you know if a product is good to buy. So I went over these Twitter accounts. Like, this is a great way for someone that's new. I would say download Twitter if you haven't already. Make an account. You don't even have to post on it. You don't even have to use your real name. Just download it and then follow these accounts. Because when you're reselling, speed is important. So if there's going to be something that's on sale, you want to know before other people know or before the deal is gone. So this is something I recommend because it's free and it's a good way to get started. But you don't want to just get into a habit of thinking that you can sort of predict like what's going to be a good product to buy, or you don't want to get stuck where you're like, I don't know what to buy. Like, follow these accounts so you can just kind of know what you can do. What is it, man? No, I got my son down here, of course. So I definitely recommend that too, so you can kind of just know what you want to buy. All right. I go over some of the different paid options. You don't necessarily have to get started with that, but I think it's important, going back up to the top, that you know where you're gonna find, what products you want to buy. So like, come up with that strategy for yourself. If you're more experienced and you're like, oh, I want to join a Discord group, well, then that's something you're going to do. If you decide, now I'm gonna try to start with Twitter, just go ahead and download the app, start following the accounts, put your notifications on, because product hunting is like one of the major things for us as resellers. You can sell things that you already have. And I'm actually going to show you a different, I'm going to show you how to use this app I have here called Book Scouter. I talked about this on Instagram a little while ago, but I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to show you the live example today on this call. But, just kind of make a decision on how you want to do that. Next. So once again, that's the quick start guide. Go through the course in full. Decide where you want to sell. Next, think about where you're going to find out the products to buy. And then I have this here. I said download the essential apps. Now this may differ depending on what you're selling, but these are like some of the apps that I have on my phone that I use probably most often as it comes to like reselling. And I'm actually going to add one more thing here. So I have Amazon Seller Central, which is like Amazon store. So let's just go through this real quick. So the top few, pretty self-explanatory: Walmart, Amazon, Best Buy, Target. Those are just, four of the biggest retailers in the US where you can find a lot of products that you want to resell there. I buy a lot from there. But those are not the only stores I buy items from, but this is just, your general things. You may, stores like Home Depot or Lowe's, sometimes Walgreens. Like if you start following those accounts that I mentioned, you're going to see that there's like even more apps than this that you can be getting items to resell. And like, these are things I have on my phone. So I have like the sneakers app. If you decide you want to try to resell shoes, which I think is actually good for anyone on the call, like literally, because it's just easy. It's a luck of the draw to be able to, you won't be able to purchase every shoe, but if you just want to make some money, a few clicks of the button, you get the shoe, you may make, quick $20, $30, $50, $100, just by buying the shoe. And there's other sites too, like Foot Locker, Foot Action. But that's how the app is actually spelled, sneakers. So that's a good app. And there's other things too, but you want to have these apps on your phone if you're serious, because like when you get alerts or someone tells you there is something for sale, you want to be able to quickly jump on and get the deal. So you have to realize like your phone, your laptop, like that's a tool. I know we use it to call or text or be on social media, but that's how you get information on the go. And that's a big part of the reason I was able to grow my business while working full time. So y'all, kind of imagine how COVID went. Even when I was back in the school, I would have these apps on my phone. So if I got certain pings, I would still purchase this stuff on my phone. And what you do with these apps, once you have like your payment information saved, your credit cards in there and things like that, your address. You can buy things pretty quickly with a few clicks of the button. So I definitely kept these apps on my phone. I still do to this day. So I definitely recommend it. As far as places where you're going to be selling, wherever you're going to sell at, if it's going to be offer up, and this is Facebook, but this is for Facebook Marketplace. You may already have it on your phone just for the app, but it's be using these marketplaces, then of course you want to have these on your phone too. I don't think anyone is going to be starting off on Amazon necessarily, but if you do, you obviously want to have Seller Central. But eBay, Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, those are the places that I use a lot that I recommend. So of course you want to have those on your phone because those are going to be where people reach out to you or people buy things so you can get notified. Another thing I recommend too, that was in the course, Google Voice. If you haven't signed up already, I recommend it, especially if you're going to be selling local. You probably don't want to be giving people your number, but a lot of people do want to text. So just set up a Google Voice number. It's simple, helps you stay organized, and it also like kind of protects your identity. So once again, just kind of recap. I know we got a few people who joined a little late. We're just kind of going over the quick start guide. Like we're assuming you go through the course, going through deciding where you want to sell, how you're going to be alerted or find out about products to buy. And we're talking about the apps that you want to have. So get these set up. Like, and this is a good first step too, by the way. Like if you like stuck, don't know where to go through these websites. If you already got an account, just log in on your phone, have these things ready in case something goes live. I may even send a message out and say, hey, listen, this is a good buy. I'll send you the link, but you got to be quick to be able to get it a lot of times. I had Discord on here. This is if you decide to join a Discord group, which I'm in a couple of different Discord groups for reselling. As I talked about in the course, these are where you can get like research and alerts even quicker than Twitter. But these do have a cost. So I would like recommend you probably I think that's old, man. No. Okay. All right, go ahead. I recommend Discord if you're going to use it. Discord is a whole different animal in itself, but like if you really try to scale up, I think it is helpful. But I wouldn't necessarily start off with it. I would just kind of start off with the free stuff first, make some money, get comfortable selling things, and then if you want to join a Discord group, I can tell you the ones that I'm in, what I recommend. Let me see. All right, next couple of things back to the list. I would say decide on your budget, like what you're going to start with, whether it be $50, $100, $500, whatever it is for you, just decide on it. And the reason I say that is because I think you want to get into the habit of being organized to start. Look at like a real business, venture. Like if a person starts a business, they normally, I don't know if people always do it this way, but it's good to admit, all right, I got $300 for this reselling business. And you may say, okay, I'm going to, there's really no upfront cost. Maybe you bought the course. Okay, I spent $50 to buy the course. And now I got $250 to buy my first few products. So as you see, everything I talked about so far is all free stuff, right? So now you can go and actually buy your first item or items with that $250. Once you resell it, you see what the profit was, and now you go back and put that money right back in. I think that's going to be extremely important too. Get an amount of money that you can start with that you can keep reinvesting. So what I mean by that is don't take like the last $500 out your account and you know that next week you got to pay a bill. So now you buy a product and you're like, you stressing out because it hasn't sold yet, and you were thinking that you're going to sell it for more, so that you can go pay your phone bill. Like, don't put that kind of pressure on yourself. Just put in the amount that you can invest. So if you got to start with a lower amount, do that. $50, $100, whatever the case, and then just keep reinvesting it is what I recommend. Don't take like your bill money, and then because you don't always know how quick something will sell, and you just don't want that stress.